Hey guys, welcome to the Ferocous Podcast, where we talk about things that you probably should too. Today I'm joined by...
Hey guys, it's Noah, or Nordog54.
I'm John, of Jeevan Stevens.
And I am your host once again for this evening, or daytime, or whatever time it is for you right now. Maybe it's 3 a.m. and you're doing a 3 a.m. challenge. Listen to the Ferocous Podcast at 3 a.m. Someone get on that. See what happens. Nothing will happen. Those things were stupid. But yes, I'm the host for today, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. So it's been a week since we last talked. Now, for us, just to keep you guys updated, we've been pre-recording a bunch because I'm gonna be moving into an apartment soon, and that's gonna take a little bit. So I predict at least 3 or 4 Sundays I'll need to have time to do stuff. So we've been pre-recording. So we're 6 episodes ahead of you guys of present time. For you, when you're listening to this, it won't be, obviously. So the last episode that went out for us, for example, was the Hollywood Hearts one, which was the Celebrity Crush Mary Kill thing, which for us was a couple weeks ago. So, and for you guys, it was many weeks ago, especially when you're listening to this. But yeah, that's just to give you a basis of where we are. But for us, it's been a week since we last talked to each other. So you guys got any small talk?
Yeah.
Well, what is it, damn it?
Oh, okay. So I've been listening to Brazilian music, and we got a new modem, so we have faster internet now.
Oh, thank the Lord! Oh my God! Oh no, his internet. Oh man, it took a season and a half, but Noah finally doesn't have a potato connected to his computer or to his phone now.
Actually, it took 6 years.
Yeah, no one cares about the other 5 years. We're talking about the year and a half that we're on the podcast.
Damn. Okay.
So yeah, so you got a new stuff, alright? And anything else happen?
I mean, I re-downloaded Red Dead Redemption 2, so that's pretty much it.
Alright, boring. Alright, John, how about you?
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Minus 5 points?
I don't care.
Oh yeah, for me, I've just been going to my classes. I got spring break coming up, so I'm super excited for that, because that means I don't have to get up at 7:30 for 3 days of the week.
Oh, poor little college bitch boy.
No, I'll find you. You don't want to know what happens next.
You don't want to know what happens next. First, I was gonna say oh, that seemed unnecessary, but I stayed silent specifically because I knew John was gonna come up with something. But anyway,
John, I will find you quicker than you can find me.
No. But yeah, so I mean, spring break's pretty cool. I mean, you also had a winter break, obviously, but that was all the way in January. So, but with the spring break, doesn't that come? Doesn't anything before that come? There's a bunch of finals and stuff.
I have a final, not a final, but a midterm immediately after spring break. So
that's fun. Wait, why are they doing it after? You're not going to remember anything.
I feel like it's not a good plan. They did the exact same thing last semester. Before, just after, I think, Thanksgiving break, something like that. And it was just everyone was just why would you do this? And they're like, we'll do it again. I know it's a bad decision because we did it last semester and it didn't work out well, but I'm going to do it again.
Right. Yeah, I think when we were in high school, they always had a test right before the break. And then all the mean teachers gave you one right after, and then they expect you to do good on it. It's we were gone for 2 weeks. What do you mean you expect us to do good on it?
Right.
So
one of the mean teachers I had gave me homework for the break.
Nah, I ain't doing it. Just spite you.
I didn't ever do it. I would come back and be like, "Hey, didn't do it. Don't give a fuck."
You ever be like, "Oh yeah, my dog ate it"?
Yeah. No, my dog didn't eat it. My sister ate it. She's that fucking weird.
I feel like that's less believable than a dog eating it.
Nah, for real. My sister eats paper.
Yeah, that's a problem. Probably should get that checked out.
They should probably go see a doctor of some kind.
Yeah,
or a therapist. Something else that can help them not eat paper.
Yeah, no. I think what she needs to go see is one of those people that does the lethal injection shots.
Send her to the ranch. That's where she needs to go.
Yeah, no, send her to hell.
No, I said the ranch. But as for me, nothing much really. I did tour an apartment actually just yesterday, which is probably going to be the one that I end up going with, because it's literally 2 minutes away from our house. 2-minute drive, maybe a 3 to 4 minute walk. And it's super close to my existing house. And that's important because I walk to work most of the times. I haven't I never learned how to ride a bike. I probably should at some point because it's a really good form of transportation. And but I could always get a scooter or something. That's not out of the question. But I usually walk to work, and so it pays to live really close to work because if I'm only like 5 minutes away from work, walking is no big deal. If I was like 27 minutes away from work, that'd be a bit of an issue. So yeah, it's a nice apartment. They've actually been remodeling some stuff. So it didn't look perfect when we got there, but we were overlooking obviously the renovations they were trying to do. And it's nice and spacious. I feel like if we when we go finalize stuff and all that fun adult stuff, it'll take me. That's why I would need a couple Sundays to kind of get my stuff together, and then once I'm ready with the podcast, we can for us we can pick it up again. For you guys, you'll keep obviously getting more episodes.
I just want to clarify something.
Uh-huh.
You never learned how to ride a bike?
The fuck you say to me, you little shit?
Like ever?
Yeah, that's my response to you. But yeah. So with small talk out of the way, we're gonna move on to headlines. Now, the headline I got is about the Minecraft movie. They have dropped a final trailer for the movie. Now, I will say the final trailer has me a bit more convinced it's going to be decent. Because the first trailer, oh boy, did not. I still feel strange about Jason Momoa being in it. Not that he's a bad actor per se, but I just don't know I don't know. His character seems weird, and I don't know if I'll like it or not. Jack Black being Steve is still confusing, but it's, at least Jack Black's funny in that sense, I guess. But the thing that was convincing me more and more was the fact that the animations for the enemies and stuff was looking a lot better. So I wonder if they improved their system of rendering or whatever they were doing to make it not look so creepy and weird. So they got that going for them, I guess. I didn't actually, I watched the trailer, but I didn't actually see when it's supposed to come out. I think it's soon, because that's a final trailer. They're gonna be dropping it pretty soon. So yeah, that's coming out. FNAF 2's movie's coming out this year in October, probably. That's gonna be exciting. So yeah, there's some good movies coming out this year. I guess there's also supposed to be an Avengers movie this year. I don't know if they're still going with that. I think it's Avengers Doomsday. Is that the one that's coming? Secret Wars was later, I think, or whatever the other one was called. But yeah, that's they said 2025, and it's 2025, so I'd hope so. But we'll see if that actually ends up happening. Because there was back in the old days, wasn't there a movie they had to push back? I forgot what movie that was. But they're like, oh, sorry, it's not fully ready yet, or whatever their excuse was. And then it came out like a week after they said it was going to come out. But
yeah, I mean, knowing Marvel, yeah, probably.
That didn't happen that often, so your justification is flawed.
Well, I would say it would not surprise me that they would have to push back Avengers Doomsday, because it was originally going to be
the Kang Dynasty.
It was the Kang Dynasty, and then they had to change it because Jonathan Majors was committing crimes, and they were like, "We're not doing this."
He's committing crimes. But yeah, I mean, and I was actually talking about my grandparents about this recently, because we were all into Marvel before or after Endgame happened, and all that stuff. But like, I just like, there's so many end credit scenes with Kang now. It's like, how are they going to rectify that? Because like, if it was just one, you could be like, he's just a joke villain. He doesn't actually do any damage. But he was literally in Quantumania. Was the main villain of Quantumania, and then had an end credit scene in Quantumania, and it's just like, how are you gonna because he's not all dead. I mean, I think they killed the variant, but there's still other ones. So I don't know how they're gonna rectify that and be like, oh, sorry guys, just messing with you. It's gonna be weird. So I don't know.
Just kidding.
Just JK.
I think the Minecraft movie comes out this month.
This month? I mean, sure. But anyway, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, I mean, I think the Mario Bros. Movie also came out. Or no, that came out in April. Yeah, that came out in April. But either way, it's around the same time frame. So maybe it'll be a good luck charm. We'll see. Because the Mario movie. The Mario movie was just like, it was for the fans. It wasn't for critics. So critics rated it not terribly, but it was way lower. So I'm guessing it's going to be something similar, Or a Minecraft movie, the critics are like, oh, it's terrible, it sucks, and then some people, like, if it's actually good, obviously, hopefully the characters, like, the real-life characters are good, and people might give it, like, an 80 or something, the critics are like, 0, this doesn't deserve any points, because critics hate everything. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. Obviously, actually, when this goes live, if Noah's correct in saying that this comes out this month, for us, it's March. For you guys, it's April right now. So, it would have already come out. So, again, this is totally old news. I probably should have said that at the beginning of this. But it's fine. Everything's fine. So, moving on over to Creator Showcase last email. But I got an email today because I think last 2 episodes I did Creator Showcase. So, I got to mix it up again. And I got an email that's, it's directed to all 3 of us, but they mentioned something very specific that I knew about, because obviously we're in the podcast. But it's, they're bringing it to light, because now the audience is seeing the truth. So this is an email, so, hey Provokers, hope you guys are doing, there's no name attached to this, by the way. So I can't say your name, like your first name anyway. But if you sent this in, you know who you are. Hey Provokers, hope you guys are doing well. Been watching since season 1, and my favorite episode so far is the Video Game Warp trilogy. I've been trying to keep up with the episodes, and I've started to notice how little Noah actually hosts. I thought that maybe he was just getting screwed over in the story episodes or something, but after re-listening to the most recent episodes, I've noticed that Noah causes his own demise. He could actually win if he just didn't make himself lose a bunch of points. I hope to see Noah win again soon because I liked a lot of the episodes he hosted. Thank you guys so much for all you do and appreciate your podcast. And like I said, there's no name attached to this, so I can't say your name. But again, if you guys, if you sent this in, you know who you are, so thank you so much for sending this in.
So, do I admit to my scheme that I've been doing or not?
Your scheme of losing? Because that's a terrible scheme, and it's not like, is that supposed to be entertaining? It's not, so I don't know what you're going for there.
It's not really a scheme, it's more or less I've just been not trying to win, really.
That's a you.
I mean, yeah, that doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah. Either way now, I feel like I have to win this episode.
Like, out of all the schemes you could have come up with, like, that seems like the bottom tier, you know? Like, we're doing tier lists, like, that's the trash can. Like, that's going to the trash can tier.
Yeah,
purposely fail is barely a scheme.
Yeah, it's almost like we're on a podcast where you got to try to win. That's the whole point that makes it a competition and that makes it interesting. You know, so I feel like that's just kind of obvious. I mean, we've only been doing this for like a season and a half. I mean, come on now. Yeah, like I said, if you send this in, you know who you are. Thank you so much for sending that in. Video Game Warp Trilogy. Yeah, I mean that's a. I don't even know. It was John's idea technically. Because he had an idea, I don't know if we said this because Video Game Warp happened, did that happen after the season 1 finale? I think the first one happened before, and then the second one happened after. Maybe, I could be completely incorrect. But either way, the first one, John came up with an idea, I forgot his original idea, but his original idea we liked, but we shifted it to make it even better.
Right.
And so, I don't know, I don't remember exactly what the original idea was, but I'm glad we evolved it. Like, me and Noah chipped in, talked about, like, oh, hey, maybe let's do this instead of that, or whatever.
Yeah.
So, it turned into a really good series. We're probably done with 3. I think 3 is fine. I think we like trilogies, I think, are good to end on 3. Like, for example, the Reset Button trilogy, that's going to be 3 of them. I think we've done 3 of something else that I can't put my name. Oh, we're going to be doing 3 of the Build a Story. We've done part 1 and part 2. The part 3 is going to be a little different though to mix it up. Obviously, we've done 3 of Intricate. How could I forget that? We've done 3 Intricates, which unfortunately is no longer a thing. So even if we wanted to do a part 4, it doesn't exist. And ChatGPT is too smart to like give us random crap. So,
Damn.
But yeah.
Well, Intricate never even liked me all that much.
Yeah, it really didn't. Although I was listening to some of the recent episodes. Not the recent episodes. Some of the Intricate episodes again. And you had some funny things that could have been funny if you said it correctly. Like, you kind of just were like, it almost sounded like you were upset that you got it, and therefore it didn't make it funny. And I'm like, that, out of context, that's hilarious, but no, it just didn't say it in like a jokey manner. So maybe it just, I mean, some of them were just terrible. Like, some of them you write, I'm like, yeah, that's not a good one. But some of them, like a couple of them, I'm like, oh, that would have been funny if Noah said it in a hilarious manner. So, I don't know. I think you still probably would have lost, would be my guess, but...
Probably.
But yeah, so that's the email. So we're gonna segue on right into the topic, and today is gonna be an interesting topic because it's gonna be kind of similar to Build a Story, not in the story sense, but it's gonna be fun. So what we're gonna be doing, and I don't know if the title is directly referencing what this is, because honestly, I think Distractable has a name that's exactly the same, so we probably shouldn't use it. Now, I want to make this clarification as well before I even say what the topic is. Distractable has done this topic. Now, I put this on the list before I knew they even did this, so I have nothing to prove that, but I did. And we're going to be doing it a little different. Because once I found out that they did this kind of similar idea, we're going to make it completely different, so that way it's, not the same. So we're going to be doing 2-sentence horror stories today, and if you've listened to Distractable, their episode's hilarious, and the reason it's hilarious is because instead of trying to make them scary, they made them funny, and that's pretty great. And I remember like the Wade being bald part, like that was hilarious. So obviously they made it funny, but today we're not making it funny. I don't want to laugh. I want to shiver in me timbers. So I'm going to give you guys the first line, and then you're going to end it, because it's a 2-sentence horror story. So I'm going to give you the first line, and then you're both working with that same line, but you got to give me the second line to make it spooky. So that's what we're going to be doing today, and you get points based on how spooked I am at the end of it. Alright? So your goal is to not make me laugh. If you make me laugh, pride points, I guess, but you ain't getting no points for that. If you make me want to make me turn the lights on, then you get bonus points, alright? So that's what we are doing today. Any questions?
Nope. This is gonna be fun. I can't wait.
Alright. John, any questions?
No, seems pretty straightforward.
Alright, perfect. Yeah. So a lot of these ones, by the way, so some of the beginning one, or some of the, did I do the beginning? I did this backwards. So some of the ones at the end are common 2-sentence horror stories that I'm just giving the first one. A bunch of the first ones though are ones that I just made up. So they're gonna be pretty interesting. So we're gonna start with the first one. I was lying on the couch, and then I heard the doorbell ring. So John, we're gonna go first, or you're gonna go first, so. You're going off of I was laying on the couch, and then I heard the doorbell ring.
How could that happen? I have no doorbell.
I have no doorbell. That's pretty good.
I thought he was going to say, but I have no door.
I was going to say, but I'm in an insane asylum. That can't be possible. No, I like that one though, because even though it's hilarious, because it just came out just the way John said it. But no, that'd be creepy. Yeah, if you don't have a doorbell and you hear your doorbell, that's pretty weird. Because at that point, you'd have to think would it be did someone put a doorbell on your door just to ring it? Because that's weird. Or is there ringing in your ears or something? It'd be kind of weird. But all right, you get some points for that. So Noah, same thing. I was lying on the couch, and then I heard the doorbell ring.
I opened the door to find my dog that had been dead for 10 years.
All right. Pretty good. Definitely spooky if your dog died 10 years. Especially if you buried the dog or something, and it's pretty strange if they just came up to. First of all, not ignore the fact that they rung the doorbell. By the way, I just completely ignored that fact of it. Not only have they been dead for 10 years, but they also somehow managed to ring the doorbell. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I didn't think about that part.
But there we go. All right, moving on to the second one. I was looking into my bathroom mirror when I noticed something strange. So Noah, you're going first for that one.
It was a tall and slender man in a suit, and what grew from him were tentacles.
That was 3 sentences, Noah? Unless you were doing the colon thing. But
yeah, let's put a colon in there.
All right, can't say it's really spooky because Slender Man's not real. So, just saying. But John, we're going. You're next. So I was looking into my bathroom mirror when I noticed something strange.
It was an unusual cut across my cheek.
Interesting. Yeah, that'd be weird. Especially if you don't know how that got there. So there you go. Okay.
Could have done that better.
Hey, we still got a lot to go through, so you got time to catch up. Number 3. I saw headlights in my driveway, but my wife was already home. So, John, we're flip-flopping, by the way. So, John, you're next.
It was the same car as my wife.
Did he cut off?
Yeah, did you cut off there? It sounded like it wasn't finished.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have anything for that one.
All right, that's fair.
It's nice.
So yours is I saw headlights in my driveway, but my wife was already home. It was the same car as my wife. That's how you're ending it.
Yep.
All right. I mean, hey, not all of them can be winners. No. So no, you're going off this too. I saw headlights in my driveway, but my wife was already home.
Then I remembered my mother was coming over.
That just seems kind of normal. That's just kind of normal. Like, that's not spooky. It's like, oh, my mom's here. All right. Well, I'm not gonna tell you your points just yet. But they could be better. We'll just say that. I'm not sure. I'm not quite shaking in my boots just yet. Your
timbers have not been shivered.
My timbers have not been shivered. Exactly. So moving on to the fourth one. I was watching the security cameras when I saw a shadow move on the one near my door. So Noah, you're starting that one.
The door flung open, and before I knew it, my head was on the ground.
My head was underground?
No, the door flew open, and before I knew it, my head was on the ground.
Oh, my head was on the ground. I thought you said your head was underground. I'm like, what? How does that make any sense? All right. No. I mean, how would you know your head's on the ground if you're dead?
Because you have like 5 seconds after your head's cut off to, live.
I don't think that's true. Not if it's the whole head. If your head just gets like sliced clean off with a cleaver or an axe or something, that's just it. You're done. I think that only applies to chickens. If their heads get cut off, they had it's 5 seconds. Although I think for them it's not 5 seconds because the whole term of you're running with a headless chicken is a thing. So that must be more than 5 seconds. But either way. So John, same thing. I was watching the security cameras when I saw a shadow move on the one near my door.
On closer inspection, it appeared to be a man with a large knife.
That's pretty good. I like how you put a closer inspection, because if you just said, "Oh, he opened it," there was a guy that opened the door with a knife. It's like, all right. I mean, it's pretty spooky, I guess. But because you added the part where he had to double check to make sure what he saw wasn't a shadow. Makes it even creepier, because your body can not your body, your mind notoriously kind of makes things scary when something's not actually scary. You're when you first turn off your lights in your room, right? It's pitch black because your eyes were used to the light around it, and so it wasn't used to the sudden shift in light, the lack of light actually. But over time your eyes start to adjust to the darkness, obviously. But in those first couple moments, you might see something in your room that looks like a person standing there, but it's not actually a person. But your mind's like, that's a person, shoot it! But it's not really a person. Maybe it's your jacket hanging on the side of the door or something, right? And so it's always interesting to see people's horror stories when they're talking about that. So moving on to number 5. There was a strange looking man walking down the dimly lit sidewalk. So John, you're starting that one.
Can you hear it again?
Yep. There was a strange-looking man walking down the dimly lit sidewalk.
It looks like he is missing an arm.
That's kind of weird. Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
All right, no, same thing. There was a strange-looking man walking down the dimly lit sidewalk.
I took another look at him, and it looked like he was in a wheelchair.
Interesting. I feel like he's less threatening if he's in a wheelchair. He's disabled, freaking idiot. I'm running, get me out of here.
That's not what I was thinking, but alright.
When I read this, I'm like, oh, he's trying to get me or something. But if he's in a wheelchair, it's I'm just running, man. You can't do it. Get out. I'm out of here. Alright, next one. This one's going to John first. The boss said he would take out that creepy doll that he had in his office. But it's still there.
The next thing I knew, it had moved.
Yep, there it is. That's all you gotta do. That's a pretty good one. Alright, Noah, same thing. The boss said he would take out that creepy doll that he had in his office. But it was still there.
I threw it out the window. Then I turned around, and there it was.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That reminds me of the, what episode was that? That was Was it the Halloween one, maybe? Oh, yeah, that's what it was. It was the Provoker's Horror Experience one, where we were reading horror stories, and one of the ones was there was a doll that this family had gotten, and they tried every way to get rid of it. They tried to burn it, they tried to bury it, and nothing worked. It just always came back. And it's just like the Afton version of a doll. It's pretty weird. But nice, alright. Let's keep it rolling. Next one. When I got home from work, I noticed that my front door was unlocked. So Noah, you're starting with that one.
But I lived alone.
Yep. Simple and clean. Alright, John, same thing. When I got home from work, I noticed that my front door was unlocked.
I then opened the door to find my house ransacked.
Alright. I thought you were going to say I opened my door. Like, I don't know what you could have said that would have made it super creepy. But maybe like there was like a knife, like blood on the ground or something like that. That'd be weird because it's like, if you do live alone and you find blood in your own house, you're like, wait a minute, what the heck happened here? Alright, pretty alright. This one was like half funny when I saw it, but so this is one of the first ones that is not my own creation. Number 8. My dog is normally very friendly. Today he wasn't. So no, you're starting with that one.
I could see that the cultural ritual was wearing off. The skin exposed, his brain melting.
What?
Seems like a bit of a run on.
My dog, it sounded like I think you could have just ended it with after the ritual thing. So my dog is normally very friendly, today he wasn't. The ritual, what were you saying? The ritual has worn off or something?
The ritual was wearing off.
Yeah, I think you could just end it there. Yeah, if you end it there, it's pretty good. If you kept going on, so they kind of lost the spooky factor. But John, same thing. My dog is normally very friendly. Today he wasn't.
He had bitten off my brother's leg in one bite.
Wow.
Jesus.
That's that's pretty good. You should have said though, John. He grabbed a sword and said, "You didn't lose the game. You lost your life instead."
No, it'd be pretty scary. The dog started talking and then stabbed me.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. All right. Moving on. My sister-in-law was supposed to visit today. I was shocked when she sent me a handwritten letter to my door. So I think John's starting that one.
The letter said that she had been dead for 5 years.
Yeah, man, I'll do it. Alright, no, same thing. My sister-in-law was supposed to visit today. I was shocked when she sent me a handwritten letter to my door.
I was even more shocked because the last I knew, she couldn't write.
Oh, yeah, that's creepy. If, like, she was illiterate and she, like, sent you a handwritten letter, that's good. You took note of the handwritten part. That's pretty clever. So you were, I mean, you weren't super behind, but that definitely brought you back up. So there you go. Alright. That one, the last one there, made me shiver my timbers just a little bit. We'll see if it keeps going. Alright, next one. I was never really scared of the dark until I saw a shadow move in my room. Noah's starting this one, I think.
I turned on the lights and I still saw the shadow.
That's pretty good. Alright. John, same thing. I was never really scared of the dark until I saw a shadow move in my room.
When I turned on the lights, it was a man with a large gun.
Alright, not too bad. And again, John, I'm just saying, you have free real estate and then my brother was standing there with a sword, and he said, you didn't lose the game, you lost your life. He's just like...
I tried to keep these from being too funny. You know?
Well, yeah, I know.
It's typically...
Well, to be fair, John, I mean, do you live with a brother that stabbed you in your dreams? So, like...
You know what? I don't.
So, like, wouldn't it be pretty creepy if, like, he was just standing in the dark in your room, and, like, you just had a sword in his hand? Like, I think that'd be pretty creepy.
What you doing there, buddy?
Obviously, my first response would be laughter because of the whole, like, stabbing you thing, but, just saying, John, you have some free real estate here.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next one. Walking alone at night can be scary, especially when you're being followed.
Is that me?
Yeah, it's you.
The person following was missing an eye.
I almost think you should have said the person following me has been missing for years or something like that. Like that would have been really good. I'll still give you points for that because it's like, you know, missing an eye is creepy. But I was saying, like, if I thought that's where you were going when you said missing. I'm like, ooh, this is about to be freaking terrifying. But still pretty good overall. No, same thing. Walking alone at night can be scary, especially when you're being followed.
The person following me had disappeared before.
Well, alright. I mean, I feel like you kind of just used what I said, but... I'll give you a pity point. I just feel so bad for you. I'll give you a pity point. Alright.
I thought of it before you said that, but alright, sure.
Well, too bad. I stole it from you because I'm the host. Alright, moving on to the next one. I was getting ready for bed with my girlfriend, up until I saw her enter the room from the bedroom door.
This one, no.
This one's Noah, because it's flip-flopping every time.
Okay. Then I remembered I don't have a girlfriend.
Yeah, that's weird.
What's that?
Like, were you getting ready with it, huh? All right, John.
Yep.
Same thing. I was getting ready for bed with my girlfriend up until I saw her enter the room from the bedroom door.
She was covered in blood.
Yeah, no, I'll do it. When I read this though, like I'm thinking to myself, like, there's two people in this room right now, because because it's saying I was ready for bed with my girlfriend up until I saw her enter the room from the bedroom door. So when it's saying I was getting ready for bed, that means you're probably getting into bed and she's right next to you, right? And if I'm thinking I'm sleeping with my girlfriend, like about to sleep with my girlfriend, right, and she walks in the door, I'm like, who the hell is in my bed right now? like that is terrifying. Like that itself is terrifying. So I was curious if either of you would take it in that direction, but still pretty interesting overall. All right, moving on. This one is creepy. This one's another one that's not made by me. The last man on Earth sat alone in a room. There was a knock at the door. John, this one.
Yes. When the man opened the door, it was a car salesman.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious and terrifying. You know, you know what you should have said, John. It wouldn't have been two sentences, but I might have been gracious and give it to you anyway. You should have said he opened the door and the person said, "We've come to talk to you about your Lord and Savior," something like that. It would have been great. Okay, Noah, same thing. Hang on, I gotta go back to it. Yes. Oh yeah, the last man on Earth was sitting alone in a room. There was a knock at the door.
I opened the door, and it was the Pope, bald with a knife.
Why does he have a knife?
Oh, the bald Pope with a knife.
Alright. Next one. Let's see. I was in a dark room with no windows and no doors. Pitch black. And then I felt something touch me behind me. That's weird. But, I think this one goes to Noah.
And then I remembered. I was in a padded room with rats. I hate rats.
Okay. Alright. I feel like if you're gonna go that far, you might as well just said the whole thing, but whatever.
I couldn't remember the whole thing, to be honest.
They locked me in a room. It was a rubber room with rats. And rats make me crazy.
Yep.
But, alright, John, same thing.
It was the man I murdered.
It was the man I'd murdered. Oh, God. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Oh, no. Next one. I opened my door to an officer telling me that my son had died.
Oh, no.
So, I think, John starts this one, right? Yeah.
Oh, no.
This couldn't be. I just saw my son in his room.
That's kind of weird, yeah. Oh, that'd be kind of weird because that would mean that, because like we're assuming that her actual son died, which means there's either like a parasite or there's an alien or something, or like a monster of some kind in the room. That's pretty bad or pretty creepy. All right, no, same thing.
But then I remembered I was infertile.
What?
Infertile, not able to have a child.
I know what that means, but it's like, wait a minute. How? Wait a minute.
It could be adopted.
It's not my son.
It could be adopted. Yeah, they could be adopted. Those. Yeah, just saying. But
Good boy.
All right, moving on. Let's see. How is this the start of it? Okay. All right. This is like you're gonna get bonus points if you really make this scary because this starts out hilarious. I got an angry text from my ex. I hope you burn in hell for what you've done. It's all in caps. So, John started the last one, right? So Noah's going. So I just got an angry text from my ex. I hope you burn in hell for what you've done.
And I replied simply, I'll burn in hell with your mother.
That's that's less of you getting points and me more inserting a simple 3-digit phone number. John, next. Same thing. I received an angry text from my ex. I hope you burn in hell for what you've done.
How did she escape the abandoned factory?
How did she escape? Oh, God. Alright, that's pretty good. I almost think the abandoned factory is fine. It doesn't add anything, but like, especially if you just left it at like But how did she escape? It's like, oh no. Okay. Okay, this sounds simple and normal, but you guys could easily make this terrifying. So next one. I thought it was cute that my cat always randomly stares at me. I can admit, I immediately think of something for this. I hope one of you goes in this direction, because this would make me shimmer me timbers. I think, yeah, no one for this last one. So John, you're going first for this one.
Up until I realized it was looking at something behind me.
Yep, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Yep. All right. Not only do you get bonus points for making it creepy, but you're gonna get a pity point for picking the same thing I would, because that is good. All right, no, same thing. I thought it was cute that my cat always randomly stares at me.
Damn it, he took what I was gonna fucking do, damn it.
I can think of something else.
I don't know. The one day my cat attacked me.
All right. I'm gonna call it spooky. It's more just like, oh god, I'm dying. But anyway, moving on. Next one. Oh god, this could also be taken in a very, very creepy direction. They say there's nothing like the laughter of a child.
What?
So Noah's starting this one.
Okay. Can I hear it again?
No.
Please.
No. They say there's nothing like the laughter of a child.
Then I killed someone, and now there's nothing like the rush of murder.
I feel like
Okay.
I'm putting in that number again, just like, yeah, it's like 3 strikes you're out, right? Like, I put in the first number the first time, the second number the second time, and then the third number, I gotta do it.
And then the fourth time you dial.
No, that happened on the third turn. It's 3 strikes you're out. But so John, same thing for you. They say there's nothing like the laughter of a child.
Except for the fact I'm home alone.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering if someone was gonna take it. I was gonna say like but it's the middle of the night and I don't have a child or like something like that. That's what I would have gone with. So yeah, that's pretty creepy. All right. Oh, I hate this one. I don't like this one. Okay, next one. I got a delivery of mannequins. I was confused to see why they covered them in bubble wrap.
Okay.
So John, you're starting that one, I think.
The bubble wrap had all been popped.
Yeah, pretty good. All right. No, same thing. I got a delivery of mannequins. I was confused to see why they'd covered them in bubble wrap.
I uncovered all the mannequins to find they were all covered in blood.
But they weren't. They were covered in bubble wrap. That's what the thing said.
You can see through
But they were covered in blood under the bubble wrap.
But you would have saw that. Anyway.
It's bubble wrap.
You'll get, no points for that one. Let's see. So,
John.
next one, oh god. That's creepy. You arrive at your house and reach for the light switch, only to find another hand is already there.
Ooh.
Oh, no, thank you. Alright, I think, John started the last one, so no, you're starting that one.
Shit.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
You arrive at your house and reach for the light switch, only to find another hand is already there.
I look over, it's the previous owner, dead.
Well, how would he be reaching the light switch?
It's a dead fucking body, I don't know, you tell me.
You're the one that said it. Alright, you're on thin ice here. John, same thing. You want me to reread it, or
I looked over to see my brother wielding a sword.
Okay.
He finally did it.
Alright, he's done it.
He's made the reference.
And he kept it to 2 sentences. I thought, like, if he had said the quote, that would have probably brought it over to 3, but, alright, I'll give you definitely funny, obviously, because, the whole, John's brother stabbing him thing, but, still pretty creepy again, same type of idea, you go home, and you don't live with anyone, and first of all, just this is a 1-sentence story right here. You arrive at your house, reach for the light switch, only to find another hand is already there, like, that's creepy, man.
Yeah, fuck that.
And now you're holding hands with this for random person. It's just like, it's all sorts of weird,
I feel like once I feel another hand on the light switch, I'd pull my hand away.
Yeah. This one's creepy. Next one. I noticed I was casting 2 shadows. There's only 1 light bulb.
Okay.
So, I think if I am an old man, I forgot already. I think John starts this one. Maybe?
Sounds right.
Yeah, no, because the last one, that should be correct. So, I noticed I was casting 2 shadows. There's only 1 light bulb.
The second shadow was moving independently.
Yep, pretty creepy. Alright. Noah, same thing?
The second shadow was facing away from me.
Alright, so you're both interesting, you both went similar ideas there. I don't know what I'd say for this one. Maybe it's like, I was guessing 2 shadows. And like, maybe I could say the other shadow is holding a knife or like something like that would like be like, oh crap, I'm about to die. Yeah, so next one, let's see. To what? Okay, I'm very interested to see what you guys do with this one. I woke up to the sound of a cat purring in my ear, but I only have a dog.
That's fucking creepy.
Yep. But you guys get to try and make it creepier.
Yeah.
No,
You go first, Mark.
yeah, Noah goes first.
Then I remembered my dog was a Chihuahua.
I mean,
Okay.
I feel like that's creepy. That's not creepy. That's more just like I've made poor life decisions.
Dude, it's more along the lines of how the hell does a Chihuahua sound like a cat?
I'm just saying, like the sentence is already creepy itself, and I feel like you made it less creepy by trying to explain it. Because if you're trying to explain the situation, that's when you're gonna make it less creepy. But if you try and like add more questions or you insert something that's terrifying, then that's when it gets really creepy. But John, same thing. I woke up to the sound of a cat purring in my ear, but I only have a dog.
I rolled over to see my neighbor's cat back for revenge.
Back for revenge. I'm glad you added that. I'm glad you added that part, because if you just said I looked over to see my neighbor's cat, it's like, okay. I mean, maybe you have a window open, maybe whatever, you know. But back for revenge. Oh no. All right.
Round 2.
Oh, screw that. I mean, I guess this is a lot of commas. Should I count this? I don't know if I count this.
Up to you.
There's a lot of hyphens in this one, so they're trying to make it a 2 cents thing. But all right, we'll do it. So I guess this is I begin tucking my son into bed when he says, "Daddy, check under the bed. I think there's a monster." So I think John's starting this one.
I leaned down to see a mirror.
He's calling you a monster? Alright. No, same thing. I begin tucking my son into bed when he says, "Daddy, check under the bed, because I think there's a monster."
I look under and see a shadow figure.
Alright. I'm not shivering in me timbers anymore, guys. You know, I was before, but I'm not doing it anymore. Oh, goodness, no. Nope.
Oh, shit.
Okay, there's no possible way you guys can... Maybe no, can't. But there's no possible way you guys can screw this up, right? Next one. The grinning face stares at me from the darkness beyond my bedroom window. I live on the 13th floor. F that noise. But I think Noah goes first.
I thought I just went first on the last one.
You went last on the last one.
Could I hear it again?
No. You've wasted enough time.
Okay. I blink and I can still see the shadow. Shit.
Great. John, the grinning face stares at me from the darkness beyond my bedroom window. I live on the 13th floor.
The grinning face began to laugh.
Yes. Yep. Alright, that's a scene out of a horror movie right there. I just want to know, like, a grinning face stares at me. Like, either they're 13, like, otherwise, like, they gotta be, like, 17 feet tall, not more than that to even get up that high, but that's creepy. Yeah, okay. This is like sort of creepy, and then it gets weird, and then it gets creepy again. This one's a roller coaster. Next one. You're laying in bed with your feet sticking out from under the covers when you feel a dog lick your foot. You don't own a dog. So, John starts it. Yeah, John starts, I think. John starts this one.
Sitting up, I see it's a man with a
A man with a what? Why are you ending it there?
What? What's he got?
with a knife. Did I cut out?
Oh, you cut out
Yeah,
that. We just heard with a, and they're like, wait, what? With a what?
Yeah, with a what?
I almost think that I think Discord did that on purpose, because I feel like it's way more creepy not knowing what he has.
Yeah.
Alright.
That's just great with a...
We'll go with John, we'll go with what Discord gave us. There's a man sitting there with a... ... You don't get to know because you're dead, presumably.
The mystery.
Alright, no, same thing though. You're lying in bed with your feet sticking out from under the covers when you feel a dog lick your foot. You don't own a dog.
I look down. It's my neighbor Jerry.
Why?
Not Jerry.
Not Jerry. Oh, he's terrible. Jerry, you and your foot fetish. Come on, get out of here.
Jerry.
Hello.
Alright, let's see. This one's okay. This one's like kind of meme-ish, but we'll do it. Again, they use some hyphen. Well, they use a lot of commas, it looks like. After waiting for nearly 30 minutes, the officer finally got back to me about the trace they'd put out. He said the call was coming from inside the building. I think Noah starts this one. Probably.
The building was only one story.
I'm trying to connect the dots on how that'd be creepy, but I don't get it. Where are we going with that one?
It's a one-story building, so, there's only one story, so...
Well, yeah, but... Alright, sure, whatever. So John, same thing. After waiting for nearly 30 minutes, the officer finally got back to me about the trace they put out. He said the call was coming from inside the building.
It appeared to be a locked door that I couldn't get into.
Interesting. Yeah, so the call is from coming from inside the building is kind of a meme. I don't know if it came. I don't think it stemmed from a Sensor story, but it. I don't know where that came from. Let's see. Okay, next one. I've always worked the night shift alone, but tonight there's a face in the cellar staring at the security camera. So John goes first on this one, I think.
Sorry, someone decided to knock on my door. What was the sentence?
I've always worked the night shift alone, but tonight there's a face in the cellar staring at the security camera.
It was my coworker they had let go.
I was hoping you would say it was my brother. He was still holding the sword. It's just like you're.
He's following you with a sword.
Yeah,
It's like, I was gonna stab you.
It's like a crazed maniac. I'm gonna stab you. God, that's hilarious. Dude, I don't even know what his brother looks like, but I just imagine his brother's like it's like a Looney Tunes-esque moment where he's like chasing him down. Or no, that's not Looney Tunes. Scooby-Doo like moment where like they're both running down the hallway. And they both run in the one direction. They come back. They're still running with a sword. It's great. I actually watched a bunch of Lethal Comedy stuff, and I saw a video a couple days ago where John, you remember those? I don't know if you. Because we played a couple times, but I don't know if you ever encountered. You remember those bug little creatures? I don't know if we play. I think we played with the Yippee mod. They would always go Yippee, or like that was like that's a mod thing. Yeah, those guys. So there was one of those things chasing these like 5 dudes like running down the hallway, and then there was like they were running back in the same direction, like the Scooby Doo like meme. It was so funny. They played the Scooby Doo theme song in the background. It was great. But yeah, let's see. How are we doing on time? Let's see. Let's check. We are doing. Probably can do a couple more. We'll see. Okay, this is creepy. Next one. The funeral attendees never came out of the catacombs. Doesn't matter who started at this point. Just whoever's ready.
Oh, okay.
I can't keep track.
The tunnel had collapsed as they were exiting.
Yeah, that'd be terrifying for them, especially.
Yeah.
Because death and everything.
Also, you already had a funeral.
But John, same thing. The funeral attendees never came out of the catacombs.
It appeared they didn't want to leave.
Yeah, that's creepy. Like, what's making them stay down there?
God, I'm gonna fucking leave.
Well, we'll see. What the frick? Alright.
Oh, that's like...
What? That's not good. Okay. Again, there's a lot of commas with this one, so I guess they're counting it. This one is a no-nope for me. Next one.
Okay.
Looking through the keyhole of her bedroom. The keyhole of her bedroom door. The little girl's father offered to take her for ice cream if she came out. As great as ice cream sounds, it doesn't change the fact that her father doesn't have red eyes. It's like, no thanks.
Yeah.
Again, whoever's ready to go first, doesn't matter.
The little girl's father had been also missing for 2 weeks.
I thought it was 2 years. I'm like, oh, for 2 weeks? And they're like, they still got time to find him.
Yeah. Yeah.
It says that her father doesn't have red eyes, which would indicate this is like a monster or something. Because like no one has red eyes, so it's not even just like a different eye color. It's like literally an impossible eye color to have. So
yeah.
But Noah, you're up next.
Didn't help that he was carrying a gun.
Yeah, or because I guess that would have been 3 sentences. I was gonna say like after that, you could have said her father didn't own guns or something. But yeah, that makes sense. All right. Let's see if I can find like a really good last one to do, because I want to end on a spooky story. You know what I'm saying? I want to end on something that's gonna shiver all of our timbers at the exact same time. You know what I'm saying? So let's see.
John, I don't know about you. Have your shimbers been shooken?
A little bit.
Okay.
I'm gonna murder everything that existed in humanity.
Well, I feel like that's a pretty good 2-sentence or story right there.
I'm gonna murder everything that's okay. No, we're not using that one, but I think it was in the Build a Story episode, where it's like a madman walked into a factory and killed everyone inside. It was Bring Your Kid to Work Day. It's like, that's what we had said in the thing. It's
That
like
would actually be
2-cent source story right there.
yeah.
I mean, if it's gonna cut me out, it's gonna like lag when I open this page. Maybe I shouldn't do it. But I mean, you know what? We're gonna end on that one. We're gonna end on the one I just said. See if you guys can build off of that one. So instead of like Bring Your Kid to Work Day, you gotta come up with something else. So a madman walked into a factory and shot everyone inside.
Okay.
But you can't use the other one, obviously.
It was Bring Your Own Gun to Work Day.
Yeah, you can't really. I was hoping you'd go more creative route with that one. So I'm gonna give you a second chance though.
Thank you.
You need me to get mine while you think of it.
I take a silence as a yes.
What?
You're an idiot. I'm going.
What?
The factory had been abandoned for 18 years.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. I was gonna say John had some more free real estate there, but
Yeah, we had a good one.
But it's still pretty good. So it's more creepy because if he had gone with the free real estate, it would have been more funny than creepy. But no, you're the last one. So
Everyone had gone to lunch before he entered.
so wouldn't that mean they weren't there to be killed?
He murdered everyone in the factory, which is to say, none.
Well, I guess are you trying to say that like he murdered everyone in the factory, like they were all monsters or something, because everyone else had left? Is that what you're trying to go with?
Yeah.
All right, I'd see it. But that's where we're gonna end today's episode. So in terms of points, like I said, you got points based on how spooky you made the scenario. Was I shivering in me timbers, or was I laughing at the absurdity of what you just said? Now, obviously, John did like a jokey one in the middle of it there with his brother's holding a sword. But he still got like a pity point for that because it's still spooky to a degree, especially if you don't live with the person that is holding the sword. So there's that. But
Ethan, so funny and charming, always there, a friend till the very end. Shining bright in the darkest times, bringing joy, oh what a sight. Ethan, my friend, you're a ray of light. In the storm, you make everything right. Laughter and love, you always send. Ethan, my friend, till the very end. Jokes and smiles, you light up the room. Never a dull moment, never any gloom. Your spirit lifts us, we're never alone. In your presence, we feel like home. Ethan, my friend, you're a ray of light. In the storm, you make everything right. Laughter and love, you always send. Ethan, my friend, till the very end. You're always there, a true companion beyond compare. Together we'll walk hand in hand. Ethan, my friend, you understand. Ethan, my friend, you're a ray of light. In the storm, you make everything right. Laughter and love, you always send. Ethan, my friend, till the very end.
in terms of points, it was because a lot of this happened a lot of times where like John had a stinker, Noah didn't, Noah had a stinker, John didn't, and so it's kind of just a back and forth the entire time. But it did matter at the end just a little bit, because Noah has 68 points, one off of 69. Big sad.
Yeah.
And then John has 74. Now, the reason it's such a big difference is because Noah lost 5 points at the beginning. So there's also that you gotta account for, too. But John, you are the winner, so do you have a winner's speech?
I will say that I not all my stories were slam dunks as you would, but there's some good ones in there, and some of Noah's was good, so I applaud him for those. If only he didn't just lose 5 points and had a couple really stinkers.
So if he hadn't lost 5 points at the beginning, it would have been like a 2-point difference. So all that would have really mattered would have been, if he just had one less stinker, even that still would have changed it. So
so a good game on Noah's part.
All right, nice. And Noah, you got a losing speech?
John, I will make your life into a sentence or story. Anyway, this was actually quite fun. Trying to come up with this shit. And John, some good stories. Few stinkers here and there, but pretty good. Could have done better, but it was alright.
Alright, and that's gonna do it. So thank you guys so much for listening. We focused the conversation, made you laugh along the way. You can find me on YouTube at FlubDixie Gaming. I am on Twitch, but I'm not currently doing anything, so you can follow me over there, but I'm not recording anything, so don't bother. I mean, if you're listening to this in like 5 years' time, then maybe, we'll see. But if you're listening to this when it comes out recently, then I'm not. You can find John on Twitch, though, at Jeebans he streams at any point, but you can be notified when he does stream if you hit that bell, which is free. And John, why don't you tell them what happens to them if they don't press that bell?
Yes, if you don't press that bell, then I'll send the brother with the sword.
Yes, okay. If you don't press that bell, he will send the brother with the sword. So get to the sword. But yes, I usually go along with if steal your cookies or something, something like that. But no, John just wants you dead apparently. But
allow people don't follow my channel here.
But so go check him out over there. He's also uploads a lot of his stuff on YouTube. So go same thing, Jeebans Feebans. So check him out over there. And if I know NoDog5434 on Instagram for the people that have that. He's also running the Provokers official Instagram account, which you should be keeping up with. So you should be notified of when we upload an episode on Fridays and stuff like that. And when we do promotional material, for the people that are going to listen to the Ethan song, which, by the way, I forgot to do this. So, oopsie. But I can still rectify the other one. I was going to do the Podcast 5.0 initiative in this episode. I guess I'll just do it next time. But what I will do in this episode is you'll hear finally my song in this episode. Took a while, I know, but it's not like it wasn't done. It's that I honestly forgot that we hadn't done that one yet. So remember, these are demo songs, so the full songs, hopefully, right now, I have no plans to finish them because of I'm moving soon, so I gotta focus on that for a while, but hopefully 2025 is still the release date. That'd be nice. But they're just like I said, the demo song. So, So that's gonna. Oh yeah, almost forgot about Patreon. Can't forget the Patreon. If you want to see some of the awesome content we have on Patreon, of course we have the tiers and stuff. 1 to 100. The more you buy, the more perks you get. You can be on the. You can even be on the podcast with the highest tier, and you get to marry us. Isn't that great? It's in legal documents, so you gotta sign some stuff if you do that, though. Obviously. And of course we got the extended cut episodes we've been promoting before. Extended cut episodes are like 30 to 40 minute episodes, where there is a host, but they don't matter, and there's no winner loser, there's no headlines, there's no nothing. It's really just the topic. And it's usually a game of some sort, or talking about something that's we wouldn't really be able to flesh out a whole episode. So go check them out over there. The first 5 are $3 that you can kind of dip your toes in the water and see if you like it or not. And then everything after that is $5. So be aware of that. Also, just remember that we haven't said this in a while, but iOS charges you more because they're stupid. They have a tax and everything. So I would just recommend not buying anything on an Apple device and using your Windows computer or something to buy it, if you choose to do that. But that's gonna do it. So thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll catch you guys next time.